This challenge is designed for me to learn something from this moment. So it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. Because out of this challenge, I will come on the other side with lessons learned, with growth in my personal, professional, spiritual, health, whatever area that may be, that it may have been crucial for me to grow before getting to that point A. My dear all, welcome back to another episode of Unexpectedly Successful. And I am supercharged of coming to you today because I know you will have breakthroughs that are similar to what I have experienced through this process of becoming a business owner. So for those who don't know me, my name is Dr. Griselda Martinez, and I am your business coach, helping professional women launch their business and helping them get from where they are right now to getting them to where they want to be. So let's get going with the conversation about today's episode. And I'm going to be making you uncomfortable, but as you know, I love to challenge people because I believe that the only way for us to grow is by challenging ourselves. So the first question I have for you is, are you afraid of failing? Let me repeat that question. Are you afraid of failing? If the answer is yes, please stay tuned for the entire episode because you will have breakthroughs by the end of this session. If the answer is no, I am super glad that this is not you, but please share this episode with someone that you know is afraid of failing, specifically in launching their business. So going back to my question about, are you afraid of failure? Our human bodies are so wonderful. There are wonderful mechanisms that includes our minds that have been created to protect us. All of us have heard of this saying, flight or fight. So our minds are created for us to not suffer anything that makes us being in threat. So in this concept, being afraid of launching your own business makes total sense. From the human life threatened perspective, it makes total sense. Our brains have been created and designed to do that, to protect you, to keep you safe. So now, we cannot allow fear to take control over our actions, and that's why we are here in this episode. So in this moment, I want you to take a moment and fill your heart with gratefulness towards your brain and state these words. Thank you, brain, for trying to protect me and preventing me from launching my own business. Thank you, brain. However, not today. Today, I will take steps towards launching my own business. And if you have not launched a business before, there is unknowns, there is areas that you've never explored. But guess what? We are not going to allow our brain, who's trying to protect us, from getting us to that next step. Okay, as I've said before, my commitment to you is to help you from point A to point B. Point A for you may be you are somewhat frustrated where you are. You know you have a business within you. You may be confused, overwhelmed, scared with respect to your business launching. So I am here to help you get to your next step. So after we've thanked our brain, we've acknowledged that this is normal to be afraid, to have that reaction of, I'm not taking my next step. So give yourself some grace in this moment. The next step I have for you is to ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Think of the different scenarios that you have played in your mind to say, this could happen, it will not work, people will make fun of me, I would not be able to sustain it, even if it's successful at first, or any other thought that comes to your mind that makes you be afraid. Please fill in the blank. What are the different scenarios that scares you? Okay? So if you can write them down this moment, please take a moment, pause this video, and write those different scenarios. If you cannot, please make sure that you write these scenarios as soon as you can while these thoughts are fresh in your mind. Okay, next step. If you can ask yourself, what if you were successful in this business endeavor? So the flip question to the first one. What if you were successful in this business endeavor? Now, let's be fair with both sides of the coin, right? So we wrote down the different scenarios of what would happen if this fails. So now we're gonna write all the scenarios of what would happen if this business is successful. What does that mean to you? Does it mean freedom of doing what your creative mind allows you to do instead of being told no? Does it mean you connecting with the people that you care to help and serve? Does it mean you having a flexible schedule to do the things that are important to you that you cannot at this point because of a given schedule to you? Or maybe your income matching the level of effort and commitment you bring to the table. All of those things may be areas of you describing success, or any other area that I may have not covered right this moment. But in any instance, write the scenarios of what this means to you if this business was to be successful. All right. The next one is a very tough one, but I call it tough love. Are you ready? Think of what would happen if you did not take this risk of launching your own business. Think of what would happen if you did not take the risk of launching your business. Describe how you would feel about the situation, about yourself, about the impact of you deciding not to take the risk of launching your own business in the long term. What would happen if you don't take this risk? Again, write this down. And please embrace those crazy thoughts that are coming to you. Like, you're going to be comfortable in your current job and nothing will happen. Okay, that's a scenario. Another one is you're going to regret for the rest of your life that you did not launch this business. Or you are going to continue to miss your kids' ball games. Or you're going to be totally at peace because you're not going to have the hustle of making this work because it's not your worry. So write all the different scenarios, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, step 4. Being fair to the positive thoughts and the negative thoughts. So now the next step is, what is the potential gain for you taking this risk and you launching your own business? What would that enable you to do? Like, are you going to be able to work around the schedule from the people that you love and care, and you cannot get enough time with them right now? Or are you going to be able to get fulfillment from helping the people that you know you need to help right this moment? Are you going to be able to have a volunteering opportunity that you currently can't? Are you going to be able to travel the world? Are you going to be able to work from any place around the planet? I mean, what is it? Are you going to be able to increase your income so you can have that and turn it into a blessing? What would be the gain? For me, it was as simple as I can create whatever comes to my mind. And it sounds simple, but it was so empowering. Okay, so that was step 4. And let's call it gain. The previous step is what would happen if you did not do this. And let's call it the pain, okay? So step number 5, I will ask you to be as transparent as you can with yourself. And please, if you are thinking about what you are responsible to be doing according to somebody else's expectations of you, or the things that you have been telling yourself that you cannot do it because, I'm going to ask you to hold those thoughts captive, at least for the time being, and be the most honest with yourself about what is bigger, the pain of you failing if you launch this business, or the gain of you launching this business and making some of those scenarios of where you would be if you took this risk. Which of these two is bigger? What scares you or what makes you excited about it? If the pain is bigger, please contact me, because I want to help you get to your next level. And this is not the place in which it is appropriate to do it. But please contact me directly. If the gain is bigger, let's continue with this. We often want to put challenges away from us. Like, how many of us don't want to be challenged when we are trying to do something? Oh my God, why is this happening to me? Why me? I just want to launch my business. I just want to be successful through my business. Why do I have to go through all these barriers and stoppers? However, I was there where you are. Like, why me? In this process of growth, I have learned something that has changed my mind and how I approach challenges. And this is the following. This challenge is designed for me to learn something from this moment. So it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. Because out of this challenge, I will come on the other side with lessons learned, with growth in my personal, professional, spiritual, health, whatever area that may be, that it may have been crucial for me to grow before getting to that point A. And of course, patience, it's not fun when you need to go places. However, those stops, those pit stops as challenges may be crucial for your long-term success if you allow those to be moments of experience, acquire, and growth in your person. I will share a story with you. When I was about to launch this podcast, I don't remember the exact moment where the idea came about. What I do remember is I was super excited. I came up with the name, I came up with the approach, and I was doubtful. And I remember me contacting people say, what do you think about the name? Or is it unexpectedly successful, going to be offensive to people that I'm supposed to serve? And what do you think about this format? And I was just filled with this fear. Like, am I supposed to be doing this? I was confused, I was overwhelmed, and fear was there present. For the record, I had never held a mic so close to my mouth, unless it might have been a brief moment at a family reunion, me trying to catch people's attention, and I would drop that microphone as soon as I could because it was so uncomfortable. And guess what? The pain, the fear was me thinking, how am I gonna record? I don't know what equipment I need to acquire. I don't know what camera. I don't know how to edit videos. I've never done that. I have no idea. What about the audio? What about the surroundings in my space where I'm recording it? And then I got to the point of, okay, I'm gonna publish it on YouTube, and I'm a user of YouTube often. However, that's not anything near to where I needed to be for me to actually publish a video. And I remember the night before, the day I had committed to launching my first 3 episodes, and I was still creating thumbnails. What? Thumbnail? What is that? I mean, I was there. I did not have the knowledge, and everything was challenging. It was so challenging. And I was one to say, I don't like to hear myself. Like, I know that a lot of people who are listening to me will connect with this. I don't like to hear myself. But guess what? All of those were part of my fear approach. But in the opposite, I'm going to share with you something really important that I had not realized at that moment. But I wanted to make a connection with people. I wanted to bring stories to women like me in a previous part of my journey as an entrepreneur, where they had inspiration and role models and information that I struggled to find when I launched my own business. And so that was exciting for me. But even later on, I was asked a question. What would you do if all of your needs were covered? What would you do for the rest of your life? And guess what the answer was? I said, I would document people's stories, what that journey of living has been for them. And guess what? That's what I get to do through this podcast. And so in my unconsciousness, the gain was much bigger than the pain and the challenges coming my way. And even more powerful, in this process, I discover that motive was even bigger than what I realized when I first started in this podcast journey. So challenges are supposed to be there for us to learn something. They are an opportunity for us to grow into a higher and better and stronger version of ourselves. And I know it sounds cheesy, but I am an evidence of that. And I know that if you think back, your story has been filled with challenges that have made you the beautiful person that you are right now. So anyway, going back to my podcast story, now guess what? I can teach people who have never held a microphone in their lives. I can teach them step by step what to do because I've been through it. If I had been knowledgeable already, my learning curve had not been as steep, but I would not have firsthand experience on what it is to go from scratch to launching a podcast. So those are powerful stories that are part of who I am now, that if I translate it to my business, it is so similar. If I translate it to anything we've done in our lives, we will come up with lessons learned that we can teach others to how to do it. Okay, so I know challenges are no fun, but please be patient. And I am coming to you if you are feeling frustrated about, yes, challenges, whatever. But clarity comes from action. And if you are in need of clarity, this is a moment for you to take action. It may be whatever you know you need to do right this moment. And if you don't know what to do, I'm going to tell you a very simple step for you to take right this moment. Ask yourself this question. What am I afraid of? That is the question. And the action that you will take after listening to this episode is sit down in the quiet, in silence, reflecting upon this question. Because nobody said that action was to go and start actually register your LLC right this moment because you're still doubtful. But an action is for you to really dig through what makes you afraid and being honest to the actual cause of you not taking the next step. Because if we cover that real reason, we will continue to come back to it. So if you want to take action and you don't know what action means to you, ask yourself that question and go in silence and the quiet for you to reflect upon the real reason of you being afraid to take your next step. My dear all, I am excited for what will come to you by listening to this episode because what I've shared with you have been transformational moments and steps that have changed my way of thinking, my way of doing business, my way of approaching my day to day. And I hope that that becomes part of your day to day and the way of you doing business. Please stay tuned for exciting opportunities for you and I to partner in helping you getting you from point A to point B, and you beautiful ladies launch your business. Because as I said before, my commitment to you is if you're ready to do the heavy lifting of launching your own business, you have a partner in me to help you along the way. Until next time, with more excitement and more actionable items for you to take your next step, your business coach and host for Unexpectedly Successful, Dr. Griselda. More to come.